We're Brittany and Drew, two hopeful adventurers who got married, moved into a van, and have been chasing adventures all around the globe ever since, and are now searching for a place to call home somewhere soon.
Subscribe and join the ride.
Hey there.
Hi.
Today's the day where we begin our preparations for going somewhere very exciting, which you probably already know from the title of this episode. While we await the renewal of our Schengen visas, Drew and I have tried to figure out where's the best place we could van life in the midst of this waiting, so that we can be so grateful for the fact that we can take our house wherever we want to go. And well, there's just kind of one place besides Alaska, which this is not the time of year to go explore, that we have been wanting to go see for the longest time. And that, my friends, is...
It rhymes with haha. Baja!
Known as the land that time never touched, Baja California is the northernmost and westernmost state in Mexico, with landscapes spanning mountains and beaches beyond your wildest imaginations, and a reputation for being wildly primitive, an excellent opportunity for us to practice some radical self-reliance. Hopefully something our 8 years of van life across North America, Europe, and Africa has prepared us for. But you can never be too sure. We're very excited about this. There's a lot to discover, a lot of unknowns that we are going to be tackling, which we love, as you guys know. And, well, some of the major preparations include having food and supplies, because Baja is pretty remote and they're not going to have things like gluten-free bread and tofu and stuff like that.
Well, we want to keep you well maintained and fed and energized, as well as myself. It's really important that Spirit has a maintenance checkup, make sure everything's looking good on the vehicle. That way we don't have any breakdowns or strange encounters with mechanical issues.
So in this episode, we're going to be showing you what we're doing to be the most optimally prepared for this adventure that we have before us.
That way you can take some tips if you're thinking about heading down there yourself and learn from our mistakes or preparedness. We'll find out.
And how about find out where the most delicious tacos in all of Mexico are, because we have been gathering some of the best, most delicious tips from our friends who have gone before us. I might eat plant-based most of the time, but fish tacos, they got my name on them. And yours. The other thing too that I want to say about Baja is that as much as we love Portugal and really have our heart set on that part of the world, if we could find something in Baja that just blew us away, that we just couldn't deny, that would be so much easier. It's attached to the United States. We could drive Spirit there. Our family has even said, you know, maybe Baja would be an option. But who knows? We'll see. We're just going to have a great time and just trying to keep an open mind, an open heart, and get what we need to have a good time.
We should also tell you that back when we traveled the United States in 2015, our first year of van life, we were actually going to go to Baja for the entire month of November, but we decided to get married instead.
So this is our chance at a redo before we move across international waters. See what Baja has in store. Nice and sunny.
What's on your Costco list?
Things to buy in bulk include gluten-free crackers, Madras lentils, protein bars, sweet potatoes, a bag of cocoa powder, depending on how big that bag is, and then frozen fruits. Let's see what we can fit. This is where we try not to get distracted by all the lights and things and different categories of everything that you can find in this store.
California, here we come, right back where we started from.
We just parallel parked our van, and I like to raise our back up on the curb so it levels out our van when it's on a sloped road. And I just realized our dually is so low right now. That thing is flat. But luckily, we have the Fantic tire inflator. And we're gonna set our PSI up to 55 pounds.
The X8 Apex will stop at whatever PSI you set it to, or when the tire reaches maximum pressure, giving you the ultimate peace of mind. Whether inflating your van tires, car tires, bicycle, motorcycle,
you can toggle through the 5 different modes.
It even has a needle valve adapter for pumping up things like sports balls. It might weigh under 2 pounds, but it will pump up to 150 pounds of pressure per square inch, inflating 6+ tires on a single charge. So if you'd like a bit of insurance that will help you get back on the road quickly without waiting for help to arrive, then definitely check out our link below and use our code MMX8APEX for an additional 10% off.
Guys, ladies, this thing is so easy to use and great for filling up virtually anything. Much, much easier than pumping.
Yeah. Whoa. It's still Christmas over here. So beautiful. Oh my goodness. Look at how magical. What are you getting ready for?
Getting ready to prep my motorcycle because I need to replace the tire so that we have some tread for where we're going. Because we're already riding off-road a lot.
After going to our storage unit last week, Drew got some fun supplies.
Nacho Libre! You just gotta have fun with everything you do.
That's right. So you're gonna take them along for the ride today?
When we get to the next destination, because I gotta focus because we're riding through the city today.
Ooh, all right. Woo! And if you don't know what Baja, Mexico is, it's like the little pinky finger that hangs off just below California. So we're actually going all the way down to the tip to Baja, California Sur, right? That's what it's called?
All the way from Baja Norte, which is below San Diego and below Tijuana, to about halfway in the peninsula, to Baja Sur, which is that second bottom southern portion of the peninsula, all the way down to Cabo San Lucas. The tippy tip
of the pinky. In the meantime, I'm going to be staying behind in editing because I'm really not sure what the Wi-Fi situation is going to be like for uploading episodes. And don't worry, we are not going to miss a single special Sunday with you all, so have no fear. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please be sure to do so. That is the #1 best way to help support the growth of our channel, and it's absolutely free, and it means the world to us. But back to editing I go, and back to some very exciting preparatory pit stops and errands. You guys get to go with Drew. Bye. Got it. Be safe. Love you.
Love you. So I just got to the tire shop and we're gonna be replacing the back tire because he said my thread has gotten really low and it is like a slick. So let's get this baby changed. And there's no, I'm so thin, right?
Yeah, because that's the other option that we were talking about. But
yeah,
that little,
a little more for a road.
Yeah, exactly. More road focused, tons of mileage.
Okay.
But if you're doing primarily off-road,
yeah, something a little more like that. Look how cool these are. These are sand tires. Big old scoops for when you're cruising through the sand. So while they're changing my tire and getting me hooked up with some new tread, I'm gonna walk over to another shop and see if I can get some oil, some Yamalube, as well as potentially some slime to refit my handle grips on the bike. Just things I'd like to enhance the bike a little bit, so that way I'm feeling that much better when I'm out there ripping around. There's what I need. Oh, it's looking good.
Right, safe.
Some of you might be wondering if I'm nervous about heading to Baja and taking our entire home. To be honest, I'm really not, but we spent 3 months in Morocco. And I remember everyone was scared for us and told us not to go and told us how dangerous it was. And we've heard the same things about Baja, but to be honest, most of the problems that happen in Mexico happen in the tourist towns where there's drug gangs and things like that going on. And Drew and I have no plans to be going places like that. There are a few rules we know to follow, like not driving at night. Tons of van lifers have gone before us. We've spoken to a lot of our van life friends who love Baja, including one that Drew is going to be calling here shortly, that he'll include you in on the certain questions that we have for him. But we've been around the block a few times. You know, this is our 8th year of van life, and not to say that we're going in just thinking that we know it all, because we don't. We're going in with an educated mindset. We're always learning. I'm honestly thrilled and excited and so grateful that as part of our final chapter of living full-time in a van, at least, and I'm not sure how long this final chapter will be, it might involve another van in Portugal that allows us to find that next stable step. But anyway, back to Drew, wherever he's taking you guys for the day. I think I'm just procrastinating because I got a lot of editing to do. Who else procrastinates out there? Yeah, you know, it happens.
How you doing? I need a oil filter and a fuel filter for a 2008 Dodge Sprinter. The big question is, how do I ride the motorcycle with all these packages? Well, that's where the backpack comes in handy. Let's hope this big air filter box fits in it. How you doing? Uh-oh. Next best thing. That'll have to work. Gotta get my directions out. It's nice because I can pair this with my headset here and I get an audible direction guide back to the van.
Just caught him. Hey there.
I'm back.
You're back.
Look at this. I didn't have anywhere to put the air filter.
Luckily there was a little bit more room in your jacket. We got some beetles out here.
Right now, I'm about to call one of our good friends, Jacob Moon. He and his family have traveled down to Baja a number of times. They've actually been down there 4 times, and they have a little girl that they take with them, Zoe. They're such a beautiful family and inspiration. I figured I could give Jacob a call and get some insight into traveling down in the Baja. I know he loves those fish tacos. It's gonna be a great adventure. Hey, it's Drew. Doing great. How are you?
Stoked that you're gonna go experience it.
Yeah, it's been on our radar for a long time since we got into van life, but obviously, you know, our path has been overseas some of the time, and you went for always at least like a month?
Yeah, at least a month. The other 2 were 6 weeks, and then we did 2 months.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing about Baja is like, if you go out of season, you're gonna fry and die.
Yeah.
So hot, and it's so humid. It's really, really humid. I'll go spearfishing for like 6 hours.
Wow.
No problem. I love it.
Wow. I think you found your like element then. That's awesome.
It's another really, it's definitely a thing that I really enjoy.
What insurance do you guys use for your van when you cross down there?
We get liability only. Different insurances up here in the United States will cover a tow back to the United States. You should check with your own insurance and see about that. I've got to look up the specific insurance company that I've used last time, though. There's a couple of them.
Okay.
But the prices vary a lot. I don't know why they do. Sometimes you could spend like $500 and they'll make you buy it for a year or 6 months. And then at other times you can spend like $60 and you'll be able to buy it for the days that you're going to be down there. So
you get it ahead of time or you get it when you're at the border?
We got it ahead of time.
Okay.
We also didn't even get stopped at the border. Mexico border crossings, it's like, I can't believe how minimal it is. It's like driving into a different state. Like, they didn't look at us, and nobody looked at a passport, nothing. Every other time, they always say, like, any guns, drugs, bullets, you know, just like the basic stuff. And you're like, no, and then they're like, okay, go on. That's pretty much all we've ever had at the border.
I have a motorcycle on the back of our van, and I'm told I'm supposed to have separate insurance for them. So I got quoted at, it was like $171 for my van. The motorcycle's $255.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would ask somebody else has traveled with a motorcycle.
Your van is 2-wheel drive, right? One of my concerns is we have a dually and our van is freaking heavy. And I don't have off-road tires, but I have Max Tracks.
I would say Max Tracks and a tire pump are the key things to have.
Key things. Maybe a shovel too.
Deflating your tires is a must.
Okay. When you deflate them, how do you know how much to let out?
My van is really heavy, so generally like a 20, 25 PSI, they're pretty flat already.
Okay. I guess if all came to fail, I could just ride the dirt bike and go get help. Have you always crossed at Tijuana, or have you ever went to like Mexicali or Tecate?
I've crossed in Tijuana twice and Mexicali the other times.
Did you think one was better than the other?
I like driving the Mexicali side a lot more.
Okay.
When you go through Mexicali, you drive straight down to San Felipe, and San Felipe's got some really nice beach spots. Mulegé is kind of like the place where you're like, oh yeah, we've arrived. That's
cool.
When we really fall into the Baja way.
And I guess just in terms of safety, because you did a lot of the van travel in Baja solo, just in your van, not with other couples, right?
Yeah, we don't travel with other couples. It's nice to have other people around, but everyone's got their own speed.
That's kind of what I thought.
To do Baja rides, you got to go your own speed and just enjoy it.
I love hearing you say that. That makes me feel good.
My general rule of thumb is you drive 100 miles away from the border and you're solid. The areas we go to, there's not any big cities. Never felt unsafe in Baja.
I assume you don't drive at night at all.
I don't really worry about sketchy people. Down in southern Baja, more in the remote places, I don't worry about that. But the biggest problem of driving at night are cows. There's lots of cows, and you'll see dead cows along the side of the road.
Oh, man.
Cows' eyes don't reflect like deer, so...
And have you guys been sick or anything related to food or water?
No, we've gotten sick once, and that was crossing the border in Tijuana back into the United States, and we had a churro while waiting. That was
shoot.
We were grateful we had a toilet in our van that night. I've never had a problem with anything in Baja.
That's awesome. You talk so highly about it. So ever since I met you, and you and Natasha speaking on stage and telling the whole story,
Gonna be down there for a month, or?
They're kind of open-ended. We had hoped to go back to Portugal at some point. We'd been looking at land and stuff over there. Right. I'm not sure if that's even gonna be, with certain borders closing and stuff. Like Netherlands really closed down recently in the UK. So I don't know. We'll see. We decided we're not gonna book anything, and if we're just having fun in Baja, we'll stay longer. So.
And if you're down there in late February, March, there's whales everywhere.
It's so exciting.
Worth checking out. So have a heck of a time.
Will do, man. Well, that was so much information to digest. Thank you to Jacob. Man, you're a rock star. You really gave us so much more than we could have asked for, and really reassured us that we'll be having a great time solo, traveling around Baja on our own pace. We still have a lot more prepping to do. It's getting really dark, and I gotta change that oil. First time for everything.
Have you never changed the oil, Lucky Blue?
No.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
It only has 3,000 miles on this bike. They say you can ride up to 5,000 miles without doing an oil change, but I don't really know how the previous owner maintained it, so I just figured it's time.
Better safe than sorry.
First time for a lot of things.
Keep Lucky Blue lucky. And look at that sunset, setting in the fog.
Sitting too fast for me tonight. We need those long days.
I know.
Bring them back.
Not even 5 yet.
Look how cute this little oil filter is. It's a little baby. New oil filter's been installed. Oil plugs back in, nice and snug. One big funnel. It's time to put the oil back in. Perfect. This WR takes somewhere between 1.3 and 1.4 quarts of oil. So I know I can put the entirety of this first quart in here. No problemo. Being extra careful not to drip any oil on the ground anywhere. It's always a little bit awkward to do these oil changes and maintenance projects in a public place, but that's all right. It's got to be done. As long as you leave places better than when you arrived, you're okay. Pull it up. I just took Lucky Blue for a ride. Want to make sure the oil's at the right level. And it sure looks about right. It's dark out here, but I think we are all set, folks. Good night.
Dinner is almost ready. We have chili for Drew and a coconut milk, cauliflower, broccoli, gluten-free pasta, machinade for Brittany.
Just learned from our friend Amber that we can do our immigration form online and print it out today.
Oh.
This will help expedite our border crossing.
How helpful have our friends been?
We have some amazing van life community friends that have given us insight, who have been down to Baja before.
I also want to plug the Van Kooks, our friends Danny and Kevin, who created the best Baja guidebook on planet Earth. We're ready for Baja. And actually, we're ready to get our laundry because we thought it would be smart to do one last load before we go into the land of, what was it called? The land that time never touched. And probably washing machines and dryers don't really exist out there either. I'm not sure. Ooh, that's a pretty gate.
Really pretty.
What did you just buy?
A new toy. Look at that. That is a high volume compressor right there.
Whoa.
It's so high power, you have to hook it straight like the jumper cables to the battery connection while the van's running.
Whoa. You guys saw our little tire inflator that is super convenient. Well, this is going to be even more convenient for the amount of times that Drew and I are going to be letting the air out of Spirit's tires so that we can drive out onto the amazing Baja beaches.
It still has the same PSI level as the little pump, but we need volumes of air.
Whoa.
Right here, this compressor says maxed airflow rate of 160 liters. I'm told that it can fill up one of our tires in somewhere between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes.
So basically we'll be able to fill all of Spirit's tires in the amount of time that the other one would have taken us to fill one. That's gonna be handy.
Look what I picked up. We're going to the majors.
Because we had to get rid of all of our other weapons. This is evidence of the fact that we did our laundry today, and I still have a bed to make. What are you doing down there?
Checking out our spare tire.
Making sure it's in good condition?
Yeah, and that's roadworthy. I don't want to have a breakdown out in the middle of nowhere and be stranded. You want to be prepared.
You're the best.
You know, that's my role some days, babe. The van mechanic. Don't think you want to touch my hands right now.
Last minute items are in. It's currently pouring down rain outside, and we are Baja bound.
My name is Brittany.
What is the year? It's 2022. All right, I'm gonna write Baja bound. Maybe that should be the name of the series. Or at least the episode. Because once we're there. Yay!
Sweet.
See you in Baja. Get in there. All right. We can't wait to see you in Baja.
See you down there,
Hasta la vista.
baby.